Good morning, everyone. This is James Pierce. This is JP's Morning Brief. How's it going, everyone? Good day. It's the 4th of February, 2026. And this is, I don't know, this Wednesday's third iteration of this. So we'll just keep it going and see how good it gets. But welcome to JP's Morning Brief. And if you notice, I still got my original backdrop. I haven't made another one yet. Rachel said she might get around to it today if she gets some time. And then I forgot what I was going to say. Well, it's 6:30 in the morning. Welcome. Get up. All right. So here we go. So as we get started, if you're not already a follower to the channel, the JP8 report, click that follow button for me, please, and then give us a like. And don't forget, you can always chat. The chat room's always open. Like I say, I'm a singular person here doing this. So if you chat, I will either chat you back real quick or I'll verbally respond just so you know what's going on, right? And then don't forget to tune in to the JPA report at 12 o'clock Central, Monday through Friday also. All right, so America 250. I'm still doing America 250 reports during this morning brief. I haven't decided yet. I love doing it, but like I got 2 articles for the day's date, so I'm going to do one for this morning and one for this afternoon. All right. So this one is from Fielding Lewis to General George Washington for the 4th of February, 1776. Dear Sir, your favor of the 25th of December, I have received one from George by Dr. Matthews. I approve much of your caution bestowing commissions, more especially on a relation. I hope George may be serviceable to you in some other way, but as you must have occasion for some person to do some little things that you can confide in, George writes me that he shall have occasion for some necessaries, anything he may want to furnish. This is some bad grammar. And your order for the amount shall be paid on site. We are making preparation to receive the enemy should any appear in the spring. In the whole, we have and are raising 9 regiments, which are expected to be ready by the last of March. Our convention have at last appointed some of your old officers to the command of the regiments. Then you have regiments 1 through 9, and you have Colonel Patrick Henry for the 1st Regiment, and then Lieutenant Colonel Christian, and then the 2nd Regiment, you have William Wolford, and then, let's see, are there any other big names on here? There's George Matthew, which he was talking about, and then Regiment 9, is a German regiment with German officers. I did not expect to see that. Wow. You know what? I should start trying to put these on the podcast so y'all can see these too. This was pretty good. It says, I do not recollect that any other officers. I have placed them accordingly to seniority. 1 company of artillery. The Minutemen are continued, but expect they will never be complete as the regiments may be recruited out of the Minutemen. We are also preparing a naval force, 2 row galleys, and 1 carrying 18-pounder and the other a 12-pounder. Man Page, Esquire, and myself are to build immediately at this place, and I expect other vessels are preparing in different parts of the country. Many attempts are making to procure powder and abroad, and numbers are now making saltpeter, which exceeds beyond expectation. My son John brings this as far as Philadelphia. where he is procuring persons to build a powder mill, and in the powder maker sulfur we have abundance of. I expect the Parliament would have repealed the American Oppressive Acts, as persevering must I think ruin England, which I have hoped it would be sensible off, and had it been so, we would have had peace by the month of March, as I've mentioned to you. That's pretty good. So we got to get to the rest of the morning brief. Is there anything extra in here that brings light of day? There's a paragraph at the very end. It said, we have been much dejected here at the misfortune of losing General Montgomery and our miscarriage against Quebec, yet we are hopeful that our army will yet get the place before Carleton can receive any assistance. I wish you success, health, and happiness, and am to serve with my respect to Mrs. Washington and Mr. and Mrs. Curtis, your most affectionate, humble servant, Fielding Lewis. Okay, so they're still talking about the loss of General Montgomery, which was very tragic. All right, this afternoon's letter, I actually have a letter from this one officer to Thomas Jefferson. So that'd be cool. I actually read through that. That's pretty good. So with the rest of it, late last night I actually read this, and I saw it this morning and said, you know what, I need a lead off. Well, wait a minute before I get to that. Here, and then, okay, talk about the Dalmatian burger guys real quick. Smash burgers and dogs in Copper's Cove. Everything's fresh and homemade. They're located on the west side of Copper's Cove. You can get lunch there Monday through Saturday, 11 to 2, and you can get dinner there from 5:30 to 7, as long as they don't sell out. And they're behind Bush's Chicken on 190 on the west side of Cove. And my personal recommendation is the Armadillo. Now, I'll tell you real quick that so I went in there yesterday right after I finished the JPA report. I got there at like 1:30. They closed at 2, like I tell you, right? They had already sold out, and they didn't expect that. So I didn't even get anything yesterday. I had to go home, eat ramen noodles. No, I'm joking. What did I get? I bought some Chinese food at Szechuan's right here in Cove, which is really good. But she's about to go on vacation. She's taking off to go to Taiwan for 2 weeks for a vacation, which is cool. She deserves it. All right. So, meanwhile, back at the ranch. All right. So, back in 2013, this one U.S. Army NCO Staff Sergeant Michael Ollis, he died serving his country in Afghanistan. It's tragic. I remember I'm a retired senior NCO from the Army. I was already retired when this happened to this guy. But it says here the White House has, I'll read this in just a second. So yesterday afternoon, I was thumbing through some channels with my buddy Rob, and we were on. He said, "Go to C-SPAN. Go to C-SPAN." They're talking about some Corey Mills and Medal of Honor. I'm like, no, Corey Mills don't have the Medal of Honor. He's you don't want me to get in about him. And I get there, and they already changed the subject. And I think they were doing 5-minute speeches at the House, because congressmen, they do these 5-minute speeches just so they can get on camera, so they can do these videos and take it back home and show people, I made a speech in the House of Representatives. Well, it turns out that I guess Corey Mills was talking about this NCO that in 2013 in Afghanistan, he put his body between a suicide bomber and a Polish soldier, and saved the life of the Polish soldier, but while losing his life. And yesterday, the Congress approved and the president's signing the Medal of Honor to present to his parents that he earned in Afghanistan. All right, and then I know there's only I don't know if you realize there's been only 61 Medal of Honor recipients that are still alive in our country today out of over 3,000 that's ever been issued. He's not one of them because he did pass away. There's only one from the entire Iraq War from 2003 to 2010, and that's Staff Sergeant David Bellavia, and he's a huge veterans outreach person, which is great. But he's the only living recipient that was awarded from Iraq. And I remember the very first one that received it. He died of Sergeant First Class Paul Smith from 3rd Infantry Division. He died at the BIOP back in 2003. But yeah, so the White House has approved the Medal of Honor for fallen Staff Sergeant Michael Ollis, Staten Island, New York, a native who died, a Staten Island, New York native who died in Afghanistan in 2013 while shielding an Allied soldier, according to Representative Nicole Malotakis. She's Republican from New York, who said she was notified of the decision in a statement posted to social media. The decision follows years of advocacy from veterans groups, elected officials, and the Staten Island community to formally recognize Ollis' actions, which supporters have long argued met the standard for our nation's highest military honor. And in a Facebook post, she said that she had been notified directly by the White House. We were notified by the White House that Staten Island hometown hero, U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Michael Ollis, has been approved for the Medal of Honor for the extraordinary act of heroism. Otis was killed in Afghanistan on August 28th, 2013, when he used his body to shield a Polish army officer during a suicide bombing. He was 24 years old. In 2013, I'm sorry. In 2013, Staff Sergeant Ollis gave his life to save an Allied soldier, and his courage, selflessness, and sacrifice represent the very best of our nation. Man. Just give me a second. People, that's uncommon valor. Man. Wow. 24 years old. Let me keep that one to the side. Man. Okay. Keep his family in y'all's prayers, please. Okay. So, the other headlines I have, I need to shoot through these real quick. That was hard to talk about. Senator Mitch McConnell was in a hospital this morning. He's been in there for 3-4 days. He's going to be all right. He has experienced some flu-like symptoms, and they put him in a hospital just to make sure he's okay. Whether you like or dislike him, he's still he's still hurting. Mitch McConnell was hospitalized Monday evening with flu-like symptoms, his office announced. In abundance of caution, After experiencing flu-like symptoms over the weekend, Mitch McConnell checked himself into a local hospital for evaluation last night. His prognosis is positive, and he is grateful for the excellent care he's receiving. And he is in regular contact with his staff and looking forward to return to Senate business. Okay, so hopefully he'll be back in the Senate today or tomorrow, which is good. And he has a history of medical problems and stuff. He's getting old. Like I said, whether you like him or dislike him politically, he's serving his nation in the Senate. And he used to be the majority leader. He's stepping down from the Senate this coming January, so they'll have an election in November for his replacement. Eric Swallwell, Fing Fang Bang Bang himself from California. He's leaving Congress also because he's running to be governor of California. The campaign finance expert is slamming, I love how they use these adjectives and stuff, slamming progressive Representative Eric Swallwell for spending over $200,000 of his congressional campaign cash on an inherently personal expense, childcare. Swalwell has been in Congress since 2013 and ran a brief and successful presidential bid in 2019 and is currently running for California governor. Fox News Digital review of the FEC filings from 2019-2025 found that Swalwell's congressional campaign has reimbursed him in over $200,000 of child care related expenses. A significant portion of those, over $22,000 from his most recent House and gubernatorial filings, were just for 3 months, $22,000 for 3 months of child care from October to December. 3 payments on his gubernatorial campaign filing for child care has made out to his wife, Brittany. He's paying his wife for child care. Man, I tell you, we'll talk about this one a little bit later too. That's stupid. Oh my goodness. We're doing it 6:47. All right. So I'm going to go over some stuff from the Texas scorecard over the last few days. I have one here. Railroad Commissioner. He's a Republican. Jim Wright gave thousands to Democrats, records show. His contributions include a Democrat opponent to Republican Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Why? Why would you do that? Railroad Commissioner Jim Wright, who is seeking re-election to the Texas Railroad Commission, has a long record of financially backing Democrat candidates, according to Texas Ethics Commission records. Campaign finance records show that Wright has donated $46,050 to Abel Herrero, a former Democrat legislator, over 14 separate contributions spanning multiple election cycles. Wright also has supported at least one Democrat in a statewide race. In 2014, he contributed $750. Letitia Van de Poot, the Democrat nominee for lieutenant governor, who ran against then State Senator Dan Patrick. In addition to backing Democrats, Wright donated $1,000 to Joe Strauss, the former speaker who rose to power with the help of Democrats, whose tenure was defined by repeated opposing conservative priorities. First elected to the Railroad Commission in 2020, Wright won a 6-year term by defeating incumbent Ryan Stinton in a shocking upset. He is now facing 4 challengers. Thank you for challenging him, including Beau French from Tarrant County, who I am voting for. James Matlock, Hawk Dunlap, and Catherine Colbert. Wright did not respond to a request for comment on the donations. The Railroad Commission, despite its name, does not regulate railroads, which is right. It's petroleum. It oversees the state's oil and gas industry, pipelines, natural gas utilities, and surface mining. The agency is set by 3 statewide elected commissioners who serve staggered 6-year terms. How in the world did we elect a Republican? This is his first re-election bid. How did we not vet this guy to where we knew he was contributing to Democrats or running against Republicans at all? No. Oh, no. I actually voted for him back in 2020. It'll never happen. I'm voting for Beau French from Tarrant County. Okay, what's the next one here? So, we'll do this one. Texas A&M ends Women's Gender Studies program. So, Texas A&M is eliminating its Women's and Gender Studies program as part of a review of university courses. The move follows repeated criticism of university for following left-wing content into a traditionally conservative institution. University officials say they determined that roughly 5,400 course syllabi to ensure compliance with the Texas A&M policies 8.01 and 12.01, which govern academic responsibility and course content standards. In November, Texas A&M Board of Regents amended the policy to prohibit courses from advocating gender and race ideology. And they canceled 6 courses in response to that. So, that being said, we go for the good news part. UT School of Civic Leadership launches program on Jewish and Western civilization. I took Western Civ in college too. Man. I took Western Civ 1 and Western Civ 2. The School of Civic Leadership in UT Austin has introduced a new endeavor to explore. This is a different college. That other one was Texas A&M. This is UT. To influence the Jewish ideals and Jewish history on the Western world and American Republic. According to the university press release, and the Ackerman Press program on Jewish and Western Civ, and the Rosenthal Levy Scholars Program, which will launch in the fall 2026. So it'll be not this semester, not the summer semester, but the upcoming fall semester. And supplemental funding for this initiative comes from a $12.5 million generous philanthropic, I can't pronounce it, support from Thomas and Abby Ackerman, Gary and Lee Rosenthal, and Paul and Karen Levy. And it composes of 4 components: a series of new courses on the classic works of Jewish civilization, and a new study abroad program in Israel. Wow. And a speaker series and a dedicated facility. So, okay, that'd be cool. So that's done. And then, what time is it? 6:50. I can do this last one for the Texas scorecard. I got a couple other things I gotta. Okay, Austin Independent School District is under investigation because anti-ICE student walkout. State officials are demanding explanations from Austin ISD after the student walkout last Friday in protest of ICE. Soon after the reports were made that students had been allowed to leave class and join anti-ICE protests at the Texas Capitol while receiving a police escort. Governor Abbott directed the TEA to investigate the situation. AISD gets taxpayer dollars to teach subjects required by the state, not to help students skip the school to protest, the governor said on Friday. Our schools are for educating our children, not political indoctrination. Attorney General Ken Paxton has opened a separate investigation and is demanding information from the district on security protocols and policies that allow students to leave campus. Paxton will also investigate internal communications regarding the situation, records records of public funds used, and possible violations of the law. Parents expect our public schools to educate and to keep our kids safe during the school day, not to encourage them to attend a protest field trip designated to villainize our brave law enforcement officials protecting our country, said Paxton. These AISD, that'd be Austin Independent School District, officials are trying to impose a radical political agenda on the next generation, not only allowing them to skip class to protest lawful immigration enforcement activities, but worse yet, use tax dollars to do so. And I don't care about anything else what's in the article about the superintendent trying to. Okay, I'll read this. Austin ISD Superintendent Matthias Segura told district parents that although the walkouts did take place across 14 district campuses, the event was not school-sponsored or endorsed. Yet you allowed them to leave the school grounds with police escorts, which is compliant for Austin ISD and Austin City and Austin Police. CPS should be called. The Texas Rangers should be investigating, which I'm pretty sure they are. The DA, he's a blatant, progressive, George Soros sponsored DA. He needs to be relieved and replaced. If we can do it, he can be recalled. This is unacceptable behavior from everything involved in that. It should not have happened. I would never allow my kids to leave a school campus to do a protest, and neither should any other Texan in our state should allow something like that. Could you imagine they've been at that protest and a terrorist act happened, or some protester do something stupid to cause a reaction to happen also? That's stupid. Oh, I hate this when it happens. Man. Okay. So that's where I'm stopping today on this stuff. Let me go into my other stuff real quick. We got upcoming here in Coryell County. We have a forum coming up on Saturday, the 7th at 10 a.m. at Trinity Worship Center in Coppers Cove. And there's another forum Monday night on the 9th, 6 p.m. at Gatesville Civic Center. And then we have the Coppers Cove Conservative Club on the 10th of February at Giovanni's in Coppers Cove. All Republicans are invited. This is the list of election-related materials. February 2nd is gone. Early vote starts February 17th at 20 to the 27th, and primary day is March 3rd. All right, and then we have the Lincoln Reagan dinner February 21st at 6 p.m. in Gatesville at the Texas Station Event Center. You can get your tickets by the QR code. And you need to get your tickets as soon as possible, or you can go to the show notes here on my Rumble site, and they're like $60 a person or $100 a couple. Okay, let me go back to my camera. I am about to raid over to Vince. All right, so y'all have a great day. I will see y'all at 12 o'clock. With the JP8 report. Thank y'all for tuning in today. Let me initiate the raid. Here we go. And well, I don't know what happened to the camera. All right, so this is James Pierce with the JPA report, right? And I will catch you on the flip side. I will check y'all later. We're rating to Vince. Poof. 12 seconds. Y'all have a great day.